We must stop it. And they started shouting Southern this, Southern that. But they do have their audience, so the whole thing is probably going to, kind of like a playback soon. Yeah, it is. In Oyo State, one Imam has now steered the hornet nest. What is Fienuja Ile Agbon already? We're still trying to tell them that this Imale, the way they are pushing it in Yoruba land will turn people a lot against this idea of Islam. But unfortunately, we already have these fanatics with us. As he's saying, there's this Imam who was on podium yesterday during the Jumat prayer. This one is in Yoruba, so I'll tell you what he said. Okay? This madman is the chief Imam of Iseyi. And according to him, Imam is bigger than a king. And an Imam can never bow for a king. In Yoruba land, Imam Moshalashi cannot bow for a king. Ogu kill you there, chief Imam. But would you blame them when we already, rather than have the real obas in Yoruba land, we are now having political obas? The political obas who are more or less interested in the position, not the, what do you call it? Not, not the expected roles or duties of being a king in Yoruba land. If you love your religion so much, don't be a king. Not in Yoruba land. Unfortunately, they have political obas. We're also going to talk about the Alaafin very soon. That's the next thing, right? But here is that madman called the chief Imam of Iseyi, the lunatic.
Niseyi, Imam ni baba ọba o. Insolu mi o. Ọba ní àdọ̀bálẹ̀ fóun. Ká bọ́ síwájú, ká dọ̀bálẹ̀. Àwa kábíyèsí ẹ má bínú. Sọ̀yájú sí yín. Fi ṣègbéraga. Fi ṣàbùkún yín. Àwọn tó ti lọ ṣáájú yín náà mọ̀ páwọ̀ yìí dọ̀bálẹ̀. Ìfẹ́ Ọlọ́run ìfẹ́ Ànábì sì ni sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fẹ́ mú fún wa lọ́wọ́ ara wa. Tá bá bínú agbára ẹnìkan ká wá nù lóye o. Tá bá bínú kódà ọba àlú agbára rẹ̀ ọ̀ká wá. Ṣùgbọ́n a sì ń ṣe sùúrù náà ní gẹ́gẹ́ pé onílò ní fẹ́ kí lò. Islam àtọ̀húnrìn wa ni mo ní nísẹ̀yìn Islam ẹ́sà àtọ̀húnrìn wa. Islam ò sì kẹ́yìn dé nísẹ̀yìn. Àwọn bàbá wọ ìyàsọ́rọ̀ oyè ni. Ẹ wo gbogbo àdúgbò tí Islam wà, Òkè Ọlá, Òkè Ọjà, Ìjẹ̀mbà. Àárín gbùngbùn ìlú ni wọ́n wà, wọn ò sí lẹ́yìn ìlú. Báwo ló jẹ́ pé níbi tí Islam wà ló wà láàrin ìlú? Ẹ pé ibi tí Islam ò sí tí ò tó nǹkan mẹ́ ló wà lójú ìlú. Táwa sọ pé àwọn tó wà láàrin ìlú yẹn àlejò. Báwo lèyàn ṣe fà àlejò sí àárín gbùngbùn ìlú? Àlejò wọn máa fúnlẹ̀ ní pé wọ́n náà lọ múlẹ̀ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Àlejò ní múlẹ̀ sáàrin ìlú. Bàbá wọ́n yìí sí àlejò nínú ìlú yìí. Tí bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan máa pàtàn pé Ìsìláàmù bákan. Níjọ́ Ìsẹ́yìn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, Ìsìláàmù ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nínú Ìsẹ́yìn mi. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ tó gbogbo ìtàn ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló dàrú. Ìtàn Yorùbá gangan fúnra ara rẹ̀ dàrú. Wọ́n máa sọ̀tàn ìtàn Odùduwà báyìí ní sẹ́ẹ̀kẹ̀ máa rẹ́rin ni. Wọ́n pe Odùduwà ìgbà tí ń bọ̀ láti kọ̀lé ọ̀run wá sí kọ̀lé ayé. Wọ́n wá mú chain ń bá chain bàbá yìí. Omi ní bẹ́ńlẹ̀lẹ̀ wọ́n wá mú ìkarahun ògbín tọrọ yèpẹ̀ sí. So wọ́n wá da ìkarahun ògbín yẹn ó dá alẹ̀ sórí omi. Òrò má jẹ́ adìẹ ọlọ́mọ tó mú lọ́wọ́ wọ́n wá fílẹ̀ òun lọ́wọ́ tẹ́ yèpẹ̀ rẹ̀ tó fi dé Sẹ́yìn, tó fi dẹ́kò, tó fi dé Ìbàdàn, tó fi káàkiri gbogbo ayé. Yẹ̀pẹ̀ tá ń tẹ̀yìn adìẹ ọ̀kẹ́ lọ́tẹ̀ káàkiri bẹ́ẹ̀. So fún mujazaba ẹwọ àgọ̀ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ìtàn táwọn professor tó ń sàkọọ́lẹ̀ rẹ̀ ni ìtàn tó mọ primary school tí ó fọ́t bí adìẹ yọkan o lè tán yẹpẹ̀ sẹ́yìn nìkan tó wá pé yẹpẹ̀ gbogbo ayé. So ìtàn míì tún gbé pé rárá Odùduwà ọ̀wá látọ̀run ilẹ̀ lọ́bàrò ti wá nígbà ó sì dé Ilé Ifẹ̀ ọba àwọn èèyàn ń bẹ kódà Ọbàtálá òun lọba ń gbà ní ọba tró ẹ̀rí ó gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀rí. ẹ bá sọ wípé Álímì gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ Àfọ̀njá n'Ílọrin kìí ṣe Álímì làkọ́kọ́ tí ọkọ̀ gbàjọba nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Odùduwà náà gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ Ọbàtálá ní Ilé Ifẹ̀. àwọn èèyàn kan bẹ nílé Ifẹ̀ àti láwọn Èkìtì Ìkàrẹ́ Àkókò àbí Èkìtì Ìkọ̀lé àbí nǹkan kan báyẹn àwọn ọ̀gbára wọn lọ́mọ Odùduwà torí pé àwọn gbà pé àwọn tí ń bẹ nílé Ifẹ̀ ṣáájú kó Odùduwà ó tó dé àwọn ìṣọmọ Odùduwà ń tàwọn. So kò sí ti tún nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ayé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀tàn dàrú ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá torí pé àwọn tó lajú tí ó kọ̀tàn kò tètè sí. So nínú àwọn tó kọ̀tàn tó rí tàn kọ díẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá Michael Jackson àbí lórúkọ rẹ̀ ń jẹ́ òyìnbó ni ọmọ UK òun lọ́kọ̀tàn ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá táwọn èèyàn máa reverse lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ òun làwọn kẹjọ kọ̀tàn Yorùbá yẹn tó sì rí tàn yẹn kọ díẹ̀. Pátàrà dí yẹn Islam ẹ ṣàjòjì nílùú sẹ́yìn ọ̀ àwàláwà láàrin gbogbo ìlú báwo lẹ́ni tó wà láàrin gbogbo sí ajé àjòjì ní
nuisance lélẹ́yìí.
I mean, it's just all going to be a matter of time anyway. He's supposed to be a Yoruba man to start with. He's a Yoruba man, but he's not a proud Yoruba man. His religion is more important to him than being a Yoruba. And all he said in that video, if I can summarize it for you, my listeners, a Yoruba man that learn how to read Quran, the Arabian written book, boldly said that they, as Muslims, they do not bow down for any king. That for a king, in his saying, to be angry that the affairs are not bowing down. He said, no, imams are like the fathers to the kings too, because they are like messengers, of Allah. So it's not just you, Kabiesi, it's not just you. Those before you, they should have told you, we do not bow for any king. In this is saying, and we are not latecomers here. Even though you are telling yourselves that Islam came last to his saying, that is not true. Because if you look at our central mosque here, it is in the center of the town, which means we did not come here last. We have been here from the word go. That the history of Yoruba land is history that is skewed, kind of like it's some foolish history. He said, some historians said, Odùduwà, when he was coming from the heaven to the earth, he used a chain as a rope to climb down from the heaven to the earth. And when he came to the earth, right, the entire world or the earth was like full of water. So Odùduwà, who came with a snail's shell and filled with sand, that Odùduwà now poured the sand from his snail shell. He poured it into the water, and the single cock, like chicken that he brought with him, he now used that chicken or that cock, right, that fowl, to spread the sand, and that is why, and that is how the land got created by Odùduwà. He said that's so foolish for anybody to even write that. That's what he said. Then he said another history said, oh, Odùduwà did not come from heaven. He came from Larubawa. That means he came from Saudi Arabia. And when he arrived at Ile-Ife, there were already people living in Ile-Ife. That Odùduwà had to overthrow the Ọbàtálá, which was the initial priest or the king in Ile-Ife. That so if the history of somebody coming in to overthrow the king is not the first time. It's not the Afonja, Alimi and Afonja story of history of Ilorin. That's not the first. Oduduwa also kind of came and, practically, right, is saying that as a Yoruba man that he is, his Yoruba-ness is absolutely nothing to his religion. So if you are, as a Yoruba man, all the tradition and culture of the Yorubas that says that the Oba is the head and all of that is not applied, it's not applicable to him. And he said, if they get angry, in this is saying, there is no king that can hold them. So the king should know that, so he should be mindful that they do not bow for kings. As Islamists, they do not bow for kings. Even Saudi Arabia, where their religion comes from, they have a king there. And they bow for him. They pay homage. So how can a Yoruba man, a supposed Yoruba man, because of Islam, boldly tell your congregation that your religion that you follow is more than your own lineage and all that? See, problem come here. We have been told that, you see that part from Ilorin down to Ogbomoso, coming down to Oyo, this part of Yoruba land, the Yoruba North, has been under the siege for centuries now, where the supposed Yoruba descendants have become so mixed that Yoruba, you see, and one sad thing is that in Yoruba land, okay, so the rest of us who are like from the heartland or the hinterland of Yoruba land, right? It is believed that the real Yorubas are the Oyos. And the same Oyos, from the Oyo Ile, Oyo Katunga, they have been those that have been so mixed up, right, with the Fulanis. I'm talking about the invasion of Yoruba land by external forces like the Fulanis from the Caliphate and the rest of them. This axis of Yoruba land has been the region with the most of these attacks that the rest of Yoruba land they are kind of like have to deal with. Their own ideology of the Yoruba-ness or the Yoruba nation is so skewed that they do not really have any loyalty to Yoruba land per se. Honestly, like if they are talking about where did the origin of being Yoruba, this Yoruba land, right, comes from, it is from that axis. So they see themselves as more Yoruba than the rest of Yoruba, for real. If you are like not from Oyo, Oyo Mesi, Oyo this and that, right, you are not really considered as, like that. It was Awolowo. It was Chief Obafemi Awolowo that decided to unite us as Westerners then. And his own idea is that we shouldn't, before Awolowo, right, everybody used to kind of like do their own thing. That is why the Egba people got their own independence. They were first independent group of people in what is today's Nigeria. Because to them, Egba is like Egba, Ijebu is Ijebu. You know what I mean? Oyo is Oyo. And then Ibadan wasn't actually really a place. It was just like, a place for the Are Ona Kakanfo of all the, is it Are Ona Kakanfo, where they keep the Alaafin's warriors, Alaafin's army. That's where they used to camp. It wasn't like a thing. And today you will see them. They are the ones who want to have Sharia established in Oyo towns. They are the ones who want to push at the idea of, the Yoruba cultures and tradition that has been like for centuries. They are the ones who want to push it to the back. One Afa who is speaking Yoruba like that. is trying to make us feel like the Yoruba culture and tradition, Yoruba traditional stools, the royal stools, means nothing to them because of their religion. What the heck, man? The Saudi Arabia they all go to, don't they have king? Is there no king? Are there no king and princess in Saudi Arabia? Everybody actually bows for. When it comes to yours, you are speaking Yoruba, and you are like demeaning and downgrading this your own supposed tradition and culture because of your religion. About Binuton, if we get angry, there's no king that can handle us. Who the hell are you? The other day, now that madman, the Kilotimpe, Emir of Iwo, that one smoked his ganja or whatever, smoke his drugs. And he woke up and he said he's no longer Oluwo of Iwo, he's now the Emir of Iwo. And he started twisting history, started saying all kind of nonsense. So if Yoruba land is going to fall, it's not going to be from external places. So the fall of Yoruba land is going to be done by the Omuales in Yoruba land, the real Omuales. Because all they have to do is just get involved in religion, and then the rest is done. That's it. How can you, okay, let me leave that so that I can manage my time, okay? I hope Seyi Makinde kind of, will probably send him a letter and tell him that, Alaafin, you dey pass your boundary, or you are yarning dust, or you are speaking nonsense. Or Imam, Chief Imam, Moshalashi, telling a king of a town that he should go and read his history. They don't, like, what the heck, man? Go. Nearly 2 years ago, the Alaafin of Oyo, the famous Obalamidi Adeyemi, Iku Baba Yeye, Omo Iku, Omo Arun. That's how they describe him, okay? So, passed, died. And since then, the selection process, which traditionally, right, rested solely on the kingmakers, the Oyomesi. The Oyomesis are the 7 houses in Oyo. They have the traditional constitutional power to choose the next Alaafin. And in Oyo State, in Oyo, they have 3 ruling houses, from what I read, okay? The Badegeshins, the Owade, and one other like that, Eshinoku or something, I can't remember, Eshinoku, it's called Eshinoku, Badegeshin, Owade. I'm not sure, like, there's 3, all right? 3 ruling houses. So since Shango, the first Alaafin of Oyo, because you remember, Shango was the first Alaafin. Yeah, Shango, our own same Shango, Prophet Shango, because Shango became a deity. Shango became a god in Yoruba land, by the way. But the first Alaafin of Oyo was Shango. Now, it has now been limited. The 3 ruling houses recognized as the ruling houses for who have the right to the throne of Alaafin of Oyo. But for over a year and a half, right, since 2022, the kingmakers, somehow they have not really been able to come up with with a candidate or Moye. Normally, right, they will have to consult the oracle, do all of that, and then the oracle will choose, and then all that. Sure, you get. However, there were rumors that since it's an opportunity, so immediately Alaafin died, the person that they put in charge of Oyo is the Bashorun. Now, that Bashorun position is a position like others, like the chiefs in the palace. So, for over a year, this Bashorun became the most powerful person in Oyo State. In Oyo, within the Oyomesis. The Oyomesis are the chiefs that chooses the king. But somehow they said there was allegation of bribery, corruption, they would choose this one. And then, so finally, the Oyomesis now chose a king. I want to remember his name. I think his name is Akim Badekeshin or so, right? Let me go check, because I want to make sure that I'm calling the right names, okay? You see this man on the left? Yeah? That is the man chosen by the Oyomesis, the kingmakers. However, 5 of them agreed that the man on the left, Lukman, his name is Lukman Badegeshi, was chosen by them. You see this guy on the right, Akim Owuade, he lives in Canada, he's a prince. Now you see this man on the left, Lukman, is also a prince from Badegeshin's ruling house. So he was chosen. Then people started the rumor started flying that he wasn't chosen by the oracles. He was chosen after paying the bribe of 15 million naira each to the kingmakers. The rumor became so strong, I think there were actual evidence, right? Normally, right, out of the 3 ruling houses, from the time they've been confirmed, 2 ruling houses, they have choosing Alaafin. Like there's been Alaafin produced. The 2 houses are sort of they've had 2 Alaafins from them. The only ruling house that has never, ever chosen any Alaafin is that Owuade. But somehow, the supposed candidate doesn't even live in Nigeria. He lives in Canada. He's an engineer, right? So the one that got chosen by the kingmakers is from the Badegeshin ruling house, that man on the left, Lukman. So when they started the accusation that he bribed his way, right, that wasn't taken lightly. Because others said, maybe it is because, this one, right, is just, I'm going to say is a mere allegation, kind of, right? It is not really proven. They said, Lukman Badegeshin had this relationship with the Sokoto Caliphate, the Fulanis, and the rest of that while he was growing up. That they believe that he has been influenced. Somehow, it is like an indirect way of appointing somebody that's compromised by the northern Fulani, oligarch, kind of, that he's got this connection to them, that should automatically see him as a potential traitor to Yoruba land. Again, like I said, is not proven. So when the allegation of him bribing the kingmakers with 15 million naira came up, even Seyi Makinde had to say he was going to call the EFCC because the stool of Alaafin is not for sale. So yesterday, the news then broke that Akim Owuade is now the candidate. And this was after the EFCC invited Lukman Badegeshin, the candidate chosen by the kingmakers. Now, even though government is supreme in these settings, right? In Oyo tradition, government doesn't choose the king for them. It is the right of the Oyomesi, whoever they choose must be the king. But with this accusation and allegations, counter allegation and the rest of that, Seyi Makinde waded in and decided to choose Akim Owuade, the Canada-based engineer, to become the next Alaafin. So, on record, why they will let Lukman Badegeshin become Alaafin was this.
I'm the first of the opportunity to let our people in Oyo, let them know that the process to select a new Alaafin will not be beyond the declaration lórí throne yẹn. I've seen people tí wọ́n wá bá mi wọ́n ní the first Alaafin bí ọmọ 13 àbí kìíní ni ó bí àwọn méjì péré ni wọ́n recognize. So this is an opportunity to bring in the others, and I ask them a simple question: is it in the declaration? Ẹ̀wọ̀n ló wà nínú declaration kan tí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ gbé wá ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò sign ẹ̀. Ọ̀dà tí wọn ò bá sign ẹ̀, declaration tí wọ́n sign òun ni àáfihàn Alaafin tuntun. Ẹ̀yin Ọ̀yọ́, everybody link Iseyi mọ́ Yọ̀ǹsì. It's only 22 minutes. Ẹ̀yin ẹ̀ má jà mọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká rojú láráyè káfíyàn ní Alaafin. Àwọn tẹ́lẹ̀ tí lọ gbowó lọ́wọ́ ẹnìkan, Alaafin school is not for sale. It is so important to Yoruba land that níta ẹjọ́ bá ti lọ gbowó mi ò ní bí wọn lọ sí Ọ̀yáká. I will take them to EFCC. Bàbá tí wọ́n dá EFCC sílẹ̀ àwọn náà wọ́n kúkú jókòó yìí. Ojú wọn ni mo ṣe ń sọ.
That is exactly what he has done. Seyi Makinde wrote a petition, like Oyo State government wrote a petition against Lukman Gbadegesin, accusing him of bribing the kingmakers, corrupting them. And therefore, his nomination is null and void.